Hello, hi, welcome to my channel. Today, my main topic is delete the tweets or posts from the Twitter or which is called as X now. Using the automated way, the programming language called Python will be the main tool for me to delete a specific group or post which will be deleted as the oldest ones. Okay, I'll show you how we can achieve this today. For this, if you see my specific screen here, in this screen, this is my account, and where in this account, you can go to your account tab in the x.com and you can download the archive of your data where you can request the data. It will usually take 24 hours to 48 hours you get the data. And once you get the data, you can download it. Let me show you how it looks like. If you see it here, this is the one which I got downloaded from the Twitter account, and here you see all this kind of folders. In this folder, you mainly see something called tweets.js. Let me show you. This is the one. In this tweets.js, you will have all the IDs that you want to delete. Let me move the screen away. You can delete all the particular IDs whichever you want to delete through the automation process. And my task here is just to remove the oldest tweets in the group of a batch, maybe 10, 15 or 20, which can be parameterized and you can delete automatically. First, let's see how this tweets.js looks like. If you see this particular tweets.js, like the tweet, edit tweet ID information and everything, the main thing which we want from this is the ID string. ID string will give us all the IDs we retweeted, and also we posted some text including the images and whatnot, right? So first what I am doing is I've divided this specific thing into two parts. Extracting these IDs based on each date. The second one is also deleting the IDs. And when you think it, probably you may think it's more difficult, but it's very easy. So we have divided into two sessions. Let's go with the first one. If you see particularly in this extract IDs, right? I hope you can see it. So here for this in the extract IDs, the main modules I'll be using here is the JSON, because whatever the tweet.j is a kind of a JSON format, right? We want to tweet in such a way it can be used as a JSON and some regex expression, and also CSV. This one is used to export that particular information and save it into a CSV. And the last one is the date time to find out and sort the date so that we can get that particular last tweets to delete it. So here we have this four modules, and to not waste the time, as I can write the full code, but since I have already the code ready, I don't want to go explain pasting each or typing the each word step by step. So let's go to the specific based on step 1, step 2. Okay, so the first thing here is we need the path, right? So this is my path. The first path, if you see, is tweet of the JS path, where it contains, if you go here, do the word wrap, if you see, this is called the tweets.js, which I told you, where you will contain all the tweets that you have posted, retweeted, liked, and whatever it is. So we are mainly considering a specific pattern from it and extracting a pattern and storing it to a CSV path. And here, if you see this output CSV path, this is where I'm storing it in the input folder with the input as tweet data.csv. And the next thing is simple, reading this particular tweet.js file. You can usually read with simple open. Okay. This is my tweet.js path, and this is UTF-8 encoding. Armin just read, and I'm storing it as an object, which is file, and I am reading the whole content, right? And storing as a string, file.read. And if I keep it here, you'll know this content is string. And the next most thing is I need to do a simple removal of the particular line, which is windows.ytd.tweets. If we can go back and see that, let's see. In the tweets.js, the first top line, if you see that, I just want to remove this windows.ytds.tweet.part0. So under it, you will see all the JSON string, which you are going to read it, right? So I'll go back. And now if you see here, I'm just using a re.sub, which is a regex expression. I'm just using the same thing over there, nothing extra, windows.ytd.tweets.part0 to get remove out of it. And then what is the text inside it? We are saving it in the JSON content. The next basic thing is we will be parsing this data and storing as a JSON format. Okay, and then the main thing is simple thing, we have this JSON module which we have included here, and from the JSON we have a method called loads, and we are using this JSON content which we just have that string, and will convert into the JSON format. Once we did that, we just want to extract this tweet IDs and also this timestamp. For that, usually you'll go with tweets, right, data. Okay, and now this is basically the extended information will be stored in a specific list, right? For that, I may need two columns which I want to store here, as I told you. So it will be usually be the tweet. So whatever you have it here, I just want to loop through this tweets content. So what I'll do for tweet in tweets, and inside this tweet in tweets, I'll just use twt tweet. This is my variable, and then I'll just go with tweet ID, and also the other one left over is specific ID underscore string. Okay, this is how you will have that particular extracted string information out. And the other thing also, what I would need, I need a date time, which usually populates and strip, and usually it will contain in the same tweet ID, right, which I already have the code for. Okay, this is under tweet and created yet, and technically the date format which we are converting into this specific format, if you see here specifically, I'm just trying to convert into this particular YMMDD format, right? And if you see there is an extra close which is here, I'll just remove it, and you see it, and everything, whatever the information we are trying to extract from tweets, it's stored in the tweets data as a list. And the last leftover thing is we will just write out into the CSV format. This is usually the simple one where you're just tweets data. I can also put, remove this, tweet data. So what I'm trying to do, I just want to open an object with a specific CSV file path, which is here in the input, right? Once we have it, we are just going through the writing mode, and every new line will have a new line with the /n encoding with UTF-8, and we are writing that particular tweet ID and date time. Right row, tweet ID and date time will be the column names on top of it. This right rows means whatever the tweets data, which is list of multiple rows, it will write all together using this right rows without any looping content. So once you run this, the expectation is it should store your particular data in the CSV format. Okay, now let's minimize this and let's run this now and see how it works. Okay, and if you see here, we have a specific error. Let's see what is this specific error. Okay, this is specific tweet and ID underscore string. That's what we added it extra. That should be at least only the tweet, which is the variable value, the JSON value, the key. And let's now run it again and see. Okay, perfect, no error. And now let's see how the file got generated. This is our folder structure. I go to this Twitter programming, and here you have this input. In this input, if you see, the tweets data got generated. And if I have to see this, how the data looks like, for each row, you see that specific tweet ID and the date time. And the started from the maximum of date is 2025 March 17th. If I go, there was around mostly some around 5,600 tweets, and the last one is 2024 November 01st. So this is how you have extracted this tweet IDs and the dates, right? The step one part is done. So I'll close this, and also I'll have this out. And now for this specifically, if you see here, we have a specific thing for this, how to delete a specific ID and we are trying to have a full programming where it specifically deletes a batch of IDs together one by one. That is our whole expectation, right? And here for this, the same thing, the modules what we have is this, the Tweepy, CSV, OS time, and date time, and the keys. Keys is nothing but the API keys which you will get it from the X developer account. You can create that by yourself. I just don't want to go through it because usually it's a simple straight process. You can get it, and I've stored these keys in this keys, and now I'm trying to read that. I'm just checking it. It is already there. Now the next major condition here is, once you have this API credential should contain API key, API secret, access token, and access token secret. This can be generated while you're in this developer portal. And what is the next step is, I have to initiate this API. If you see, I'm using this tweepy.api auth, which is the old one, the V1 version. And here, if you see, for this auth handler, I'm just passing this whatever I've given on the top, and I am initiating this particular API, right? Once whatever the API you have it, the next major step is, if you see, I'm using a maximum deletion of 100. For the test, I can keep it only 5, and the delay seconds is 3. What does it mean is, once it hits that API request to delete something, I'm waiting for 3 seconds here between each deletion. That's what I want to do. And for this, I have created a specific function where you can delete that particular tweet ID. So the only thing is, you can just use one method for api.destroy status, and you'll be passing those particular tweet ID, which is the number, a long number. You'll be passing it. Once it's deleted, it will show you it got deleted. If there is any issue, or if particular tweet ID is not found, we are just using this in the except method .not found, and also Tweepy exception, where it shows you if not found, it will clearly show you it is not found and it is skipping. And if it couldn't delete somehow, it says fail to delete the tweet ID. This is the main thing. And the other step is, we are, whatever the particular CSV file we created it, we just have to load that particular CSV file. And I'm just trying to see here. And in the step 1, if you see, what my main motto for this is, if some IDs got deleted, I want to store in a specific file, which deleted log path. In the deleted log path, what it contains is, it will contain the IDs that we are deleting in the particular batch process. I will change the location in some time, but let's see what we have here. So usually I'm checking that path, that particular file, the deleted log path, which consists of the deleted IDs. If for the first time, the file won't be available. If it is not available, I'm just trying to create it. I'm just pasting the deleted IDs into this. That's it, nothing much. Now, the next step will be, I'll be reading that particular CSV file, right, and store it in a list. For this is the code. So this is my tweet CSV path, which I have just created it, which have the list of IDs and also the timestamp. I'm reading using CSV reader. I'm going row by row. I'm just trying to append that to particularly tweets data, right? If it is not existed in this, deleted IDs are here. I am reading that particular whole file I'm storing as a set. Okay, whatever you have the set, I'm just checking whether my current tweet ID exists. If it is not exist, then only I'm trying to append to the tweet data. Now, the third thing is, I'm just sorting out the order from descending to ascending to just make sure the data is sorted well. And because I just want to delete the old records first, right? So my old records will be on the top, the newer posts which will be on the down records, right? After it's done, right, my major thing is delete tweets one by one with a specific delay, which I said I'll be going with this 3 seconds. If you see, this is the whole part of the code. That's it. I'm just reading the tweets data, which I've just got appended. Once I'm going through this loop by loop, and I have the delete counter here. What is this delete counter does? A delete counter will always check that particular batch. The maximum deletions I can do only 5. So once it's reached that 5, it will stop that processing, will come out of that loop. That's it. This is the command, this is the particular thing after this. So I just kept it as 10 items, which I will rest for 5 items, and you can increase whenever or however you want. This is the function which we just created. We are passing a specific tweet ID which is coming from the tweets data, and we are trying to delete it. And the one more thing you should remember, whenever we are deleting a particular tweet ID, we are trying to store in the deleted log path, right? That's the main thing, because always when the batch is completed, we are checking whether the tweet IDs are already deleted. If it is deleted already, we are not going through this process again and again, because APIs, we have a specific certain limits. It is not unlimited, so that you need to cut down what you have already deleted, so that it will save your time and your APIs won't get expired. And this is just a counter. Once you delete, I'm just counting first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And if you see, I'm delaying a second, as I said, like I'm waiting for 2 or 3 seconds for every deletion. Once everything is done, it will print a final statement. Once it comes out of the loop, it will just print the process complete. This is the whole code, which was divided into 4 steps. And now let's see how it works. Okay, for this particular example which I want to show you is, let me go back here. If you see this particular ID which end with 855, we have some information here which we have the post for it. Okay, now what is the other thing we need to do it? We need to update this particular path which we have just created. Let me also go there. Okay, the first thing we would need is this tweets data CSV. So I'll copy this path, I'll paste it here. Okay, and in the delete log path, so what I'll do, I'll just also go here to the input place, and I'll just try to paste it here. Okay, I'm trying to save it. Okay, this is done. So these are all the 4 steps. Okay, and let's see. Okay, so whatever we have it here, these all steps are done. Let's run and see it. Okay, and I also want to open this tweet.csv file. For the sake of viewing it, I'll just try to open this again. And we have this paths currently, and we'll just try to run this program. So if you see it, the particular Python code, I'm running it, and you see here the particular IDs are getting deleted. And usually I have given this specific 5 IDs, and whatever the 5 IDs that we have deleted, it should add to that particular a specific log file, which we will see it right away. And in this input folder, if you see here, there is something called delete tweet IDs.txt. And if you see here, whatever the IDs that will get deleted, it will add here, so that you can't find this IDs anymore. So if suppose, if I go back and see this particular thing, see, you won't find that ID anymore, so it will get deleted. So what happens, sometimes you want to change your niche, right? You'll have your previous post, right? You want to delete it. Instead of deleting this one by one, we can make this automated through using this Python, so that you can delete as a batch. The maximum I went up to 100 for one batch also, it will delete it. So this is one of the best and easy way where you can delete programmatically without any pain. And even you have 10,000 or 20,000 also, you can just delete it. But just make sure, once you have a group of deletion of 100, just at least wait for another 30 or 40 minutes, or you can add another extra code every 30 minutes or 1 hour. You can delete this particular tweets. And you should remember, these tweets or the posts are deleted in the ascending order manner. The oldest ones will delete first, and the newer ones later, and it will go by based on the timestamp, and you will see this specific output here. That's it. If you like the video, please share and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions on this particular code or anything, let me know. I will reply to that particular comments. Thank you.